Very warm greetings to everyone. I have no hesitation in indicating, and it is subject to medical assessment, I stand surcharged, energized, motivated, and inspired when I greeted these heroes. Each one of them reflected sublime commitment and nationalism, which we all need to emulate. Dr. S.L. Thausen, DG BSF, Sri P.V. Ramasastri, ADG BSF, and I find in the audience very distinguished people. But I find that there is a category of retired DGPs. They are not tired. None of them is tired. And this is out of personal experience. I have seen many of them. Some of them, even before I took oath of office of Governor, State of West Bengal, on 30th of July 2019, earlier to that, and thereafter also. We'll have to find out what is that so very special in the BSF that DGPs never get tired. I'll come to that later on. I recognize, and pardon me if I make an omission, I'm bound to make. Sri Pankaj Singh, Deputy NSA, had the good fortune of being side by side with him while he was heading the BSF in the state of West Bengal and thereafter at the central level. Sri Vikram Misriji, I do not know him personally, but I know enough of him, and I greatly admire him. Lieutenant General M.V. Sachinand Kumar, Vice Chief of Army Staff. Sir, my salutations as Sainik School 166, Sainik School, Chittorgarh. Sri Anish Dayal Singh, DG ITBP. Shri Shir Vardhan Singh, DG CISF, Shri Atul Karwal, DG NDRF, Shri Arvind Kumar, Vigilante Commissioner, former Director IB, and one with whom I interacted on every aspect and several times, Shri Rajiv Jain. And for a long time. Distinguished officers, everyone present in the audience, and the entire human resource of BSF, their families, the veterans, ladies and gentlemen. I'm extremely happy and delighted to be associated with the 20th investiture ceremony of brave men and one woman. When I say one woman, I go back to what Disraeli, a Prime Minister of Israel, once said. The only man in my cabinet is a woman. He was making a reference to Golda Meir. How thoughtful of the BSF to have that film. The film is a ground reality. The film focused on the growth of our woman power, their contributions, and it exemplifies incremental fruits of Beti Padhao, And I would say, Beti Padhao gives rise to blossoming of democracy, growth of economy, and balance of societal behavior. Those who exemplify their work by such conduct have to be ever respected and well regarded. The investiture ceremony is a momentous occasion to recognize valor, honor, and exceptional contributions. When I interacted with each of them, they are drawn from all over the country. One of them was from Sainik School. Instant connect with me. Congratulations to them, their parents, their families. They have made all of them very proud. To honor deserving individuals engaged in public service is our obligation, and we should be discharging it as often as possible. राष्ट्र के परीरों को मेरा नमन, थार का तपता मरुस्थल हो, and imagine the conditions there. कच्छ के रण का दलदल हो, I have been there. कश्मीर की बर्फीली चोटियां हो, and those चोटियां at the moment are seeing global warmth, presence of global dignitaries, a changing profile of this country, and the world is looking at the big change that is taking place. या फिर पूर्वोत्तर भारत के घने जंगल, इन सब परिस्थितियों में, in extremely trying conditions of weather and challenges of all kind, one category is functional 24/7, and that is our BSF. आज मैं बल के सभी बहादुर जवानों को उनकी राष्ट्र सेवा और समर्पण के लिए नमन करता हूं। भारत को सीमा सुरक्षा बल पर नाज है। But what is more important, the credit goes to their families. They are the spinal strength. They sustain their morale. We must always be in ever salutation of these families who contribute human resource to BSF that allows us to have sound sleep. Honored to be with those who are associated as guardians of our frontiers. And look at their motto. The motto says it all. जीवन पर्यंत कर्तव्य है। इस वाक्य को बीएसएफ के हर व्यक्ति ने हर परिस्थिति में, हर विषम परिस्थिति में, हर कठिन परिस्थिति में और सब कुछ निछावर करने के बाद भी चरितार्थ किया है। मैं उनको नमन करता हूं। I salute their passion, commitment, devotion to duty in realizing their mission, which is ultimate essence of our nationalism. Raised under the charismatic leadership of Sri K.F. Rustamji, BSF has now evolved into a modern, disciplined, and capable force. It is an honor for me to deliver Rustamji Memorial Lecture 2023. I belong to legal profession, which means I was in the company of jealous mistress. A legal profession is known. The jealous mistress came to an end when I became Governor State of West Bengal. But then that gene is always there. So when I look at Rustamji, what a change he catalyzed in the world of law. Such historic, memorable milestones generated by that great person. is one of the most significant, soothing movement was protection of human rights. After he had structured many organizations, this he focused. The man who set up the Border Security Force, he also laid the firm foundations, very firm, and the foundations have now culminated, crystallized into badi imarat, public interest litigation. It was he who initiated public interest litigation in the Indian judicial system. The National Police Commission, this was the first of its kind. The need for National Police Commission was felt because the largest democracy on the earth was visited in 1975 with the dark era of emergency. That saw large-scale human rights violations, debacle of institutions, something which founding fathers of the Constitution never imagined, a period which we all would like to forget. Large number of people were put behind the bars. They had no access to judiciary. So when there was turn of events politically, National Police Commission came into being. And this National Police Commission had an important component, and that was in the shape of Rustamji. He was one of its glorious members. It came to be headed by a gentleman whom I remembered every moment I was Governor State of West Bengal, because Dharamviraji adorned that august office as Governor State of West Bengal. I could never rise to his level of commitment and dedication. But in together, these gentlemen created National Police Commission, which we greatly value. In that capacity, in 1978, Rustamji visited jails in Bihar, and he scripted their conditions. He was greatly moved, and he thought he would have to catalyze affirmative actions, because he came together that many of the prisoners were there in jails for a period which was much beyond the maximum punishment which could be accorded to them. And this led to Usandara Khatu versus State of Bihar. And ladies and gentlemen, one amongst you, founder of BSF, brought about human rights by one stroke to 40,000 under trials all over the country. What a feat attained by one individual. The moral of the story is that if an individual commits himself or herself to achieve something which is of wider impact for the society, it is attainable. I have always indicated the most dangerous human activity is to have a great idea and allow that idea to be harbored in your mind. That's the greatest injustice we do to humanity. If there is an idea, we need to act on it, irrespective of the result. Let us not have the fear of failure of that idea. No one has succeeded in the first instance. If there was no flight of imagination, ladies and gentlemen, Neil Armstrong would not have landed on moon. Things would have been very different. So never hesitated. Rustamji exemplified it in action. At that point of time, now we have social media. Now we have proactive judiciary, we are proud of it. Our judiciary is spinally so strong that confidence of the citizen is so high. But at that time, this mechanism was not there. He initiated it. I'll quote his reflections. He reflected, I quote, "How can such a situation exist in our country? We must do something about it," unquote. This was the idea. If he had kept quiet, there would have been quietus to the situation, and those people would have been languishing in jail. He acted. He tried and succeeded. I go a step further. Never hesitate to try. A failure is only a step that someone else will take up the baton. A passionate nationalist, Rustamji wrote extensively on minority rights of Hindus at that point of time, and Muslims, and viewed the fact that his journalistic writings were not acknowledged. You all are gifted more than I am. You know, sometimes recognition to a person comes when he has met his maker. So it is recorded in history. Every word which Rustamji said reverberates in our ears now, sensitizes our mind and attitude. He was chief of Madhya Pradesh Police, as I said, DG BSF, and was the first chief security officer of Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, our first Prime Minister, and for a long time of 6 years. Maintaining a diary is a tough challenge. It has given rise to so many cases, and those, they are not present here. Income tax people are extremely keen to get a diary. If they get one, they think it is a epicenter. Rustamji also maintained a diary, and he continued maintaining it for more than 3 decades. I am sure whatever is in public domain, you will focus on that. The man who was handpicked by none else than Lal Bahadur Shastri, who said, "Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan," has created a force of which Bharat is proud and the world is aware. Rustamji, his exceptional qualities were reflected during 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War. He retired in 1974. As I said, was never tired, as I see everyone around here. A special secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs, he structured the Indo-Tibetan Border Police, CISF, in the Central Police Organization. He initiated formation of the Indian Coast Guard. And what a magnificent organization is Coast Guard. Eastern part of the country is more prone to getting cyclones of very high intensity. And when I was Governor State of West Bengal, we had about half a dozen. I salute to the Indian Coast Guard. There was not a single death on the high seas during that period. That organization was created by the man. Conferment of the second highest civilian award came to him a little late, Padma Vibhushan, but it did come in 1991. I recollect my time then as a member of Parliament and a Union Minister from 89 to 91. A befitting recognition and a rich tribute, well-earned tribute to his sublime service to the nation. He was born a Parsi on May 22, 1916. But as per his wish, he was cremated according to his wishes, as per Hindu rituals in March 2003. He will always remain etched in our memories as a great leader, manager, strategist, writer, thinker, a police officer, and a humanist. Ladies and gentlemen, BSF saga does not end there. There is another gentleman, very vibrant, was your DGP, and he has taken the baton, and I would say to a higher level. This distinguished former DGP is passionately taking Rustamji's baton and torch to higher flights. I am making reference to none else than Sri Prakash Singh, a former BSF DG. Look at the commitment of the man, his passion, his mission, his devotion. He is working to transform the police mechanism, to bring about police reforms. It was after 10 years he started the process on the judicial side in 1996. 10 years thereafter, in 2006, we had another significant judgment from the Supreme Court. The one we had was initiated by Rustamji. This one was in 2006, when a foundation was given to those in governance, how to allow police to function and to be in service of the nation in the best traditions. Such people are to be honored. They have to be saluted. I can betray my mind to you that as Governor State of West Bengal, when I had not known Prakash Singh ji, I sent a word to him that governance is posing a challenge. And if the challenge emanates from the steel frame, if the challenge emanates from those in uniform, I need your guidance. He penned down a note which was so remarkable. And you will be happy to know, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in the state of West Bengal, DGP came to be appointed as per Supreme Court verdict. The man initiated it. Several things have happened in the country because of 2006 judgment and the orders passed thereafter. Sovereignty and integrity of our country is inviolable. We all are committed to it. There could be no thought of ever compromising it. And we know it. The challenges which the BSF faces. The borders are porous. The borders are long. Unauthorized, illegal economic activity which, to those who do not believe in the nation, engage into sinister and pernicious activities, is financially rewarding. It's a tough challenge for the BSF to antidote those activities, neutralize them, combat them, contain them. And sometimes the challenges are not from the other side of the border. Sometimes the challenges are from this side of the border. I'm so happy to share with you that BSF in the state of West Bengal, one of the gentlemen is present here, took to non-invasive, cooperative, harmonious approach, generating an ecosystem so that people participate. The activities of BSF for suffering Indians in crisis is too well known. Insurgency, Naxalism, they are being combated with the greater involvement of BSF. And for the country, if we take it on a point of record, World's largest border guarding force, India's first line of defense. National security is the cornerstone of our country's progress and prosperity. You know it more than I do of late. The developments that should have taken place earlier are taking place now. The kind of road infrastructure we have, the kind of technological involvement that is taking place, the kind of arms that our people are being made available, and the kind of facilities that are being created for the human resource. This is not an obligation to them. This is our due. It is satisfying and gratifying to note that the attention is being paid by the governance mechanism very seriously. सीमा सुरक्षा के साथ बीएसएफ के लोग नक्सलवाद, आंतरिक सुरक्षा चुनौतियों को जब मिटाते हैं, पर्सन से काम करते हैं, उनके परिवार के ऊपर बहुत बीतती है. But they don't lament. They take that they are working for the nation. ऐसी परिस्थिति में उनके हर परिजन को मैं सैल्यूट करता हूं. हमें उन पर नाज है. चैलेंजेस कितने आ रहे हैं? स्मगलिंग, ड्रग ट्रैफिकिंग, ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग, और इसमें तो ह्यूमन के साथ साथ हमारी गाय माता को भी ले रखा है. कितनी बड़ी चुनौती है. मिस्टर पंकज सिंह विल रिवील समडे इन अ बुक कि कितने तरीके एडॉप्ट किए जाते हैं. दिमाग खतरनाक रूप से कहां तक जा सकता है, मैंने भी देखा है. बीएसएफ एंटीडोट करती है. I only wish that we have more rewarding ecosystem for them. I appeal to all state governments, particularly border states, to be extremely sympathetic, sensitive to border security force. They must take border security force in precedence to their own. The leadership of the border security force, and I can say without fear of contradiction out of experience, will never generate a system other than that of being in collaboration with the state governments. I appeal from this platform, executive leadership of all state governments, to take all affirmative steps, sensitize their mechanism, so that morale of the BSF is ever sustained high. The length, porosity, and complexity of border makes patrolling very difficult. I have seen in the film, this is being done by our girls also, excellently. But it's very difficult. Sophisticated mechanisms are being employed both sides. We have to be extremely careful. But I am happy. I will not reflect on the attainments of the BSF on these things by intercepting these aspects which are used as fiscal gain mechanisms is remarkable. On a point in 2022, BSF seized 300 kilograms of heroin, over 10,000 firearms, and cattle in thousands. I know the problem they face. They seize, they expect to be rewarded, their problem starts. From that point of time, someone has to take care of the cattle. Surely BSF seizes them, can't take care of the cattle all the time. I work very hard in that capacity to generate a mechanism. Others are working. The challenges that BSF faces, its efficiency will go up. if citizens take it upon themselves to be an extension of BSF, to be supportive of BSF. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at a time in our country, in Amritkal, when India is on the rise as never before. The rise is unstoppable. The incremental growth trajectory will ever go high. By the time we reach 2047, Bharat will be a global leader. Just a decade ago, we were 11th largest global economy in the world. In September 2022, we had the distinction of being the 5th largest global economy. And overtaking our erstwhile colonial rulers. By turn of the decade, we will be 3rd largest. If I focus on contemporaneous economic scenario, in 2022, our digital transfers were more than US, UK, France and Germany by 4 times. 4 times. This is because our borders are secure. All this will go on a tangent if borders are not secure. If we see the 700 million internet users we have, our data consumption is more than China and US per capita, China and USA taken together. It's a silent revolution. और ये क्यों संभव है? इसका एक प्रमुख कारण है, जो सीमा पर कठिन परिस्थिति में प्राणपण से देश की सेवा करते हैं 24/7। उनसे कोई चूक होगी, ये गड़बड़ा सकता है। तो इनकी एक्टिविटी आप लोगों की is much beyond security. Security is integrated, intertwined in economic development, peace and harmony. And therefore, you are really engaged by your unwavering commitment, self-service and sacrifice in taking care of the holistic growth of the nation. I would leave a thought with all of you, because you are practicing it. You are practicing it day in and day out. You always keep nation first. Your personal interest always takes a backseat. This is not enough. Others must also magnetically learn from you. Make them aware of it, that if we are caring for the nation, we are caring for you, and therefore you must be upright in your commitment to the nation. भारत माता की रक्षा में अपने प्राणों की आहुति देने वाले बीएसएफ के सभी जवान अधिकारियों को मैं विनम्र श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूं। मेरी संवेदनाएं उन शहीदों के परिजनों के साथ हैं। I can tell you, as governor, I visited every household that lost a BSF warrior. Me and my wife both went there. I want every senior official, senior constitutional functionary to make it a practice. It is not solace to a family. It is solace to a category that is helping us survive the way we are. मैं आप सभी के उज्जवल भविष्य की कामना करता हूं। I am grateful to DG BSF for affording me this rare, meaningful opportunity. I will ever cherish these moments. Jai Hind.